Fox 13 News at 6 starts with breaking news. Take a look at this picture. In a story that you will only see on Fox 13, this is a convicted killer. Right now, he is on the run after the Shelby County Jail released him.
Now, this was a sudden change for Anthony Green. A jury convicted him of murder, and only 38 minutes later, the jail set him free.
Fox 13's Troyce Grant joins us live downtown at 201. Troyce, Fox 13 learned that this wasn't really an issue of just bad timing. Walk us through what happened.
Yes, so Anthony Green was here in jail at 201 Poplar for a...
Pooh Shiesty is reportedly under investigation for allegedly helping his homie escape from prison.
In the streets and on the timelines, the name Pooh Shiesty has always carried weight. Raw Memphis energy, grimy authenticity, and a reputation built on hard records and harder stories. But this time the chatter isn't about a new drop or a viral verse. It's about an investigation that's got people leaning in, squinting at headlines, and asking questions that don't have clean answers yet. According to circulating reports and online talk, authorities are looking into claims that Pooh Shiesty may have been connected, directly or indirectly, to an alleged attempt to help an associate escape from custody. To be clear, this is being discussed as an investigation, not a conviction, and in the streets that distinction matters. Still, the idea alone is enough to set social media on fire because it taps into that familiar tension between rap narratives and real-life consequences. When an artist's music already speaks in codes of loyalty, survival, and never folding on your people, any legal situation instantly gets framed through that lens. Fans start decoding lyrics like they're clues, critics jump to conclusions, and everybody suddenly becomes an expert. What's fueling the buzz is the suggestion that this wasn't some random misunderstanding, but a situation where loyalty may have crossed paths with the law. In hip-hop culture, loyalty is sacred, almost untouchable. Helping your homie is often painted as a badge of honor, something that earns respect in certain circles. But when that loyalty allegedly collides with prison walls, razor wire, and federal attention, the story flips from street legend to serious legal territory fast. That's where the narrative gets heavy, because investigations don't care about reputations or playlists. They care about evidence, timelines, phone records, and who talked to who. And once investigators start pulling threads, even rumors can feel like facts to the public. The streets know how this goes. One whisper turns into a headline turns into a viral clip, and suddenly the court of public opinion has already made up its mind. What keeps this story gripping is that it sits right at the crossroads of image and reality. Pooh Shiesty's persona has always been tied to authenticity. No fairy tales, no Hollywood polish. That authenticity is why fans ride for him, but it's also why any alleged wrongdoing feels believable to some people, even before the facts are laid out. Others argue the opposite, saying this is just another case of a high-profile rapper being watched extra closely, every move magnified because of who he is and where he comes from. In that sense, the investigation becomes bigger than one man. It becomes a symbol of how quickly street narratives can be weaponized when law enforcement and media get involved. The phrase "under investigation" hangs heavy because it's a limbo state. No guilt proven, but no clean slate either. T keeps names trending and lawyers busy while fans wait, speculate, and debate in comment sections that never sleep. Some see the situation as a cautionary tale about the cost of staying tied to old environments when fame hits. Others see it as the system doing what it always does, circling anyone with influence who didn't come from privilege. Either way, the conversation keeps growing because it blends danger, loyalty, fame, and the constant question of how much of the rap life is performance and how much is real. Right now, the streets don't have verdicts, just theories. And until official facts drop, the story lives in that gray area where speculation thrives, where every repost adds another layer, and where a single investigation can overshadow years of music hustle and carefully built legacy. As the situation keeps unfolding, what really grips people isn't just the allegation itself, but what it represents in the bigger picture of street fame colliding with real-world consequences. In hip-hop, especially for artists who come from environments where survival is a daily mission, success doesn't always come with a clean break from the past. Old ties, old loyalties, and old expectations don't magically disappear once the money and spotlight show up. That's why stories like this resonate so deeply, because they feel familiar. Fans have seen this movie before. A rapper rises, the city puts him on its back, and then legal pressure creeps in from angles nobody expected. Whether the investigation ends up going anywhere or not, the damage of suspicion alone can be heavy. Labels get nervous, opportunities slow down, and every move gets watched twice as hard. In the streets, people understand that sometimes just being connected to a situation is enough to bring heat, even if you didn't orchestrate anything. That's part of the unspoken rules. Proximity can be as dangerous as participation. Social media, of course, doesn't help. Instead of waiting for confirmed details, timelines get flooded with half-truths, memes, and exaggerated claims. One post says one thing, another contradicts it, and suddenly the original story gets buried under layers of speculation. That chaos feeds into a larger narrative where rappers are expected to live out the most extreme versions of their lyrics. And when real life starts resembling those bars, the public acts shocked, even though they've been consuming that image for years. There's also a deeper conversation happening underneath all the noise about how the justice system interacts with hip-hop culture. Critics argue that artists from certain backgrounds are under a microscope, that their associations are judged more harshly, and that investigations sometimes start from assumptions rather than solid evidence. Supporters counter that fame doesn't equal immunity, and that everyone has to face consequences if lines are crossed. Both sides think they're right, and that tension keeps the story alive. Meanwhile, fans are stuck in the middle, trying to separate the music they love from the headlines they can't ignore. Some double down in support, saying loyalty is loyalty and that the streets have their own codes. Others start questioning whether those same codes are worth the risk when freedom, careers, and families are on the line. That internal conflict is something a lot of listeners relate to, even if they've never been anywhere near a prison or an investigation. It's about choices, pressure, and the weight of expectations, both from where you're from and from the audience watching you. What makes this moment especially intense is that it's happening in an era where nothing stays quiet. Decades ago, rumors like this might have stayed local, passed around in barbershops and neighborhoods. Now they're global in minutes, dissected by people who have no connection to the culture but plenty of opinions. That exposure changes everything. It turns personal situations into public spectacles and legal processes into entertainment. And once that happens, the truth often becomes secondary to whatever version of the story gets the most clicks. For the artist at the center of it all, that means fighting battles on multiple fronts, legal, personal, and reputational, often at the same time. Even if the investigation leads nowhere, the experience itself leaves marks. Trust gets tested, circles tighten, and the reality of how fast things can flip becomes impossible to ignore. In the end, this story isn't just about one alleged act or one investigation. It's about the fragile line between staying true to where you come from and protecting the future you're trying to build. It's a reminder that, in the streets, loyalty can be powerful, but it can also be costly. And in the spotlight, every decision echoes louder than you ever expect. As fans wait to see how things play out, the lesson hangs in the air. Success doesn't erase the past, and the past doesn't always let go quietly. How this chapter ends is still unwritten, but the conversation it sparked is already locked into the culture. Another example of how hip-hop, reality, and consequence stay forever intertwined.